I have a confession to make. Sometimes I wonder what my professional life would be like if I had chosen electrical engineering instead of the career I studied. I have even considered turning my professional career around to work in renewable energies, which is a field that I find fascinating. I'm mentioning all this because I have discovered a game made for me. Terra Nil. Terra Nil is an indie strategy game, but not as in military strategy of killing anyone, nor as in the managing a civilization and making them rise in technology, economy and so on, nor a simulation of killing your father and marrying your cousin kind of strategy. No, Terra Nil is an environmental strategy game about using science, technology and engineering to rebuild ecosystems from scratch. If what I have just said appeals to you, I encourage you to give it a try. It's about 6 hours, 8 if you're stupid like me, of saving the world with chill piano music. Highly recommended if that's your thing. The progression of saving the world is usually as follows. You will need energy first of all, so you will have to build some structures to provide it, such as windmills, hydroelectric or geothermal power plants. Through them you will feed the detoxifiers, which cleanse both soil and water of toxins, allowing you to then water the former and start spraying some life onto the barren wasted land. From here the next step will depend a lot on which biome you're in, because for example in the first one you place honeycomb full of bees that pollinate the soil and begin to generate flora, which is the basis for having bugs and animals, although these will come later at the end. Another thing you can do is to set fire to your little flowers to turn them into ash that will feed lush forests. In another biome you use shade cloth to cast a shadow over the land, resulting in rainforest. In another biome, under particular conditions of temperature, altitude and humidity, you can generate tundra or lichens on stones, which you can transport through your railroad tracks to the sea where they will become algae, I think? I don't know. There's so much information in this game. It has taught me a lot about ecosystems, about technology, about under what conditions certain things happen, from the formations of icebergs to the arrival, quote-unquote, of fireflies in an ecosystem. Did you know that sunflowers absorb radiation? I didn't know that, and I just found out that a big chunk of sunflowers were planted in Japan because of the tsunami that destroyed the Fukushima nuclear power plant. But it's a good example of this game's thesis that in many shows, movies or even our own news, we're often bombarded with the idea that the scientific progress of mankind has only served to destroy the planet that gave birth to our species, and that when we push science beyond its limits, when we go too far, we become monsters, it gets out of hand, or we simply create the fucking atomic bomb. And yes, there are many examples of evil applications of science, but there are quite a few more of science helping us in our daily lives, and it's about time that, in addition to those, we start exploring how science can help the Earth. Terra Nil explores some very interesting topics, this symbiosis between science and nature, breaking down a barrier that some of us have in our heads that has no business being there at all. I've never particularly agreed with the phrase that nature is wise. If you understand chemistry, thermodynamics and especially ecosystems and how they work at such a deep level, why couldn't we help nature regenerate itself much faster? And Terra Nil understands all this very well, or at least it conceals it very elegantly. Have you seen these machines' designs explaining how they work? It's evident that there's a huge love for environmental engineering, and the truth is that I value it a lot, as well as the message that I think it conveys, that there's hope for our planet, for life in general, and that our planet's salvation comes not only through extinction of the human race, but also through its scientific/technological progress, which is very much aligned with my personal values. If anyone's going to save our planet, it's going to be scientists and engineers. I just had to dedicate a few minutes to recommend Terra Nil, and not because it's the most fun video game I've ever played in my life, but because it's one of the most special, and I simply wanted you to know that it exists and it's very well done. And that will be it, a shorter video that I've decided to make in between projects. You can click here to watch my most recent video. And yeah, take care of yourselves and the planet. See ya!